y'all flaunt the fact that you need help, but you too prideful to go to a therapist. So instead you flip it and try to front. Hi everyone. Before I start this video, I do want to give a little bit of background of me, of why I'm even starting this channel, what it's going to be centered around, what it's going to be talking about. My name is Amaris. Some know me as Am the Don. I'm 23. I'm from North Carolina. I graduated college, my bachelor's of science, in 2020. That was fun. Yeah. Had my associates in arts. I got that in 2018. Master's somewhere in the making. Yeah, we don't know yet. We'll get there. Yeah. That's me. Moving on to why I'm even starting this channel. I got really inspired after a series of failed and successful relationships, but friendships and relationships alike. People that still rocking with me, like they inspire me to do this, as well as the people, you know, I don't keep in contact with for various reasons. It's not all bad. But anything I talk about on this channel is definitely something that I experienced myself, know someone who has experienced it, or something that I'm familiar with in a sense. I don't want to come across as judgmental in any way, shape, or form, but I always do want to have real talk about real topics like that, or real issues that are going on in society. And I don't even know how many people are going to watch this. I don't know if anyone is going to watch this, but hopefully someone does. And if you do, don't forget to like, comment, share, send it to a friend. Just tell someone that you know to like tune in. I definitely think that is something that should be talked about. So here we go. The first order of business is really understanding where the idea that toxic relationships are okay. Because I see a lot of posts. We're just gonna start off with this post right here. I haven't forgotten that this went viral. And a lot of people, I'm saying y'all, because it wasn't me, a lot of people were definitely posting this meme right here, this post right here. Trying to be funny. To me, it really like struck a chord with me, because it made me realize just how emotionally. You hear the phone. That's just somebody calling for whatever. But pretty much, it really struck a chord with me, because it made me realize just how emotionally damaged this generation actually is, and how badly we want to separate ourselves from our feelings because of things that we've experienced. That's the only reason you would actually want to promote the idea that you are toxic. No healthy person would want to promote the idea that they're toxic. Someone who wants to, you know, put on this persona that they're like too hard, just too emotionally unavailable to give you anything. They're too, what little baby say? Too emotionally scarred. It ain't even your fault. Yeah, people like that, but really, that's a problem. And we shouldn't just stop there and accept it for what it is. Like, we shouldn't be letting these posts like go unchecked for real. And I know it's a joke. I know it's like to be funny, but the fact is, it's serious for a lot of y'all. Like, that's really how a lot of y'all really act. A lot of y'all wasn't kidding. It just gave you, because everyone was posting it and put a funny caption on it, it gave everyone an excuse to really, like, you know, post that. But a lot of y'all wasn't playing. A lot of y'all really will go back to y'all ex. Really will look at somebody, who is like a fire person, and sabotage the relationship because you don't trust yourself enough to be able to withhold that relationship, to withstand that relationship, to contribute to it. Or, you know, you have trauma that's undealt with. I've been there. I think that it's time that this generation, because we're the ones who are next up, we the ones who finna have kids, we the ones who finna raise the next generation, start getting serious about like our morals and what it is that we're gonna do. I mean, if you really do want to be toxic for the rest of your life, or the rest of your 20s, however long you think that's gonna last, then you do that. You do it wholeheartedly. And I pray that works out for you. Actually, I pray that you get humbled, because that's really not okay. But all in all, I really feel like we've grown up in a society where toxic relationships are normalized. So it's not even our fault all the way. I know a lot of us grew up where, our parents may not have always demonstrated what love should look like. And I think it's very, very hard to find a couple that has done that perfectly. To bash anyone's parents, not to bash my parents. I was raised in a single household, and I love both of my parents, and I appreciate, and so I'm so thankful for everything they've ever done. But I think the reality is, for a large part of this generation, we don't know what it actually looks like to be in a healthy relationship. And so we search for it in people and things. And a lot of times we fail. It isn't about being perfect, but if you don't correct those failures and normalize those failures, which is why I'm even making this video, because we've normalized toxicity, then get a bigger issue. And what is a joke to us becomes reality for the next generation after us. It becomes real for our children. And that's kind of hard to fathom, because on a serious level, you do have to at some point start thinking like long term. I don't think that's something that we're really doing, because that's not even the only thing that we've normalized that is unhealthy and not conducive to society. I really don't like doing this, but I'm going to. It's an example that we can all visualize and get an idea of what the point I'm trying to communicate. Celebrities, they're easy targets. I'm sorry, I know they're real people. I hope the best for everyone, celebrity or not. I wish the best. I pray the best for everyone in their family. I pray success for everyone in their relationships. But we're not just gonna sit here and act like a lot of these relationships that are on the cover of People magazine, or that the Shade Room posts, a lot of these media outlets flaunt, are okay, because they're not. I know cheating been going on since the beginning of time. I know cheating ain't new. Polygamy, I know these things aren't new. What I never expected was for us to start acting like it's okay just because time has passed. Cardi and Offset are probably, the thing is, I only know what I know through tabloids. I only know what I know through media. So it's not even a fair, it's really not fair, but I have to go off what I know. It's based on the facts, which is, he cheated on you. He cheated on you, and he did it again and again and again. But before I even get there, the fact of the matter is, we've seen their relationship be very tumultuous. We've seen a person break because of like the toxicity of the relationship, the lack of respect, the lack of love that was shown. Some gifts were bought, some words was shared, probably some faux sex was involved. And then it's like, oh, they're back. So like, like they're back together. It's all good. Is it though? Like, is sis okay? Is she really okay? Can you imagine your relationship being in the spotlight to the point when we're so cheating on? Can you imagine being with somebody so famous that people really will sleep with them just because they're that famous, and just because, like, Offset really slept with them girls, and them girls really was just sleeping with him just for him, not just for him being Offset, not for him being whatever his name is. I don't even know his name. His name is Kiari Kendrell Cephas. Offset. If it was just Kiari from Atlanta, yeah. So really briefly, I'm just going to give you guys a timeline of their relationship so you can get the idea of just how bad things went. So at this point, Cardi and Offset have been married for a little over a year. He's already crashed the show asking for forgiveness. He's already cheated. And now they're in Puerto Rico on a jet ski. I'm really sorry for that explicit, by the way. So at this point, the relationship has gotten to a place where Cardi is now fighting 2 felony charges against her for physically assaulting 2 girls that she believed Offset was cheating on her with. She goes to court, I guess, throughout the year fighting these charges. I don't know if she beats it or not. I'm assuming so. I don't know. They drop clout. By the end of the year, by December of 2019, someone else has exposed a DM from Offset saying, "Miss you for real." They both say that he was hacked. So, as you can see from this very sarcastic headline, a lot of people aren't believing that his Instagram was hacked. But when you're in love with a cheater or dealing with a cheater, you have to be very quick to not believe what they say when it comes to their loyalty. We're fast forwarding to September of 2020. Cardi has announced to the world on Instagram that her and Offset are going to get a divorce. She's changed the lyrics to her songs and that mention Offset. And at this point, their beautiful baby has been born. And so in November of 2020, they're supposed to have a court hearing for their divorce. If you don't know, they did not get a divorce. They are still together. And basically at this point, Cardi B has been through hell and back. Sis has gone crazy. People out here, and it's the fact that he gave into that, betray his marriage, his wife. We see it in like real life couples. We see it on TV. Scandal. Listen, I watched all the seasons. And the whole time I was never mad at Olivia. Maybe like 2 episodes out of like all 1,000. And she was toxic. So was Fitz.
Toxic.
But you know who I wanted to be like when I grew up? Olivia Pope. She really presented the persona of being strong and independent, but really what she was broken and not able to connect with other people on a level romantically, really even on a friendship level, because she consumed herself with work. She's a workaholic. Let alone if she did, she couldn't choose the right person, which was not Fitz. Just gonna put that out there. She couldn't choose the right person because what she's used to is chaos. And a lot of us in our life, what we're used to is chaos. What we've ever, all the love we've seen is chaotic. Our first love was chaotic, and if you leave that unchecked, it don't stop. Like, you just continue these patterns. You keep doing that, and you take it with you, forms into something that you never expected it to form into, and it really affects your life for the worse. It affects your mindset for the worse. We can do better. We should do better. We should want to do better. The thing we have to do is admit that where we're at is not it. We at ground zero. Like, as a society, we're operating at our lowest level of intelligence. And the thing is, like, relationships are important. People aren't disposable. Everyone you've met in your life, for better or for worse, only one of them. Like, there's only one of them. Being toxic really makes you that person that people look at for the worse. Like, you're usually the person that taught someone a lesson, but not because you were trying to help them. The thing about toxic people only desire to be toxic because they've run into a toxic person. And that person did them some type of dirt. The person affected them, hurt them. That person hurt them. I don't know if any of y'all have ever actually interacted with a toxic person, but if any of y'all have been in a toxic relationship or been with toxic family or friends, really a lot of things you need to recover from. Like, you have no choice but to heal after dealing with someone who is toxic. One big thing that toxic people have in common is the fact that they're emotional abusers and manipulators. These are things that they do drive you crazy. They don't apologize for what they do. They are not remorseful for things that they do. That is what being toxic really is. Being toxic is not something to flaunt. Being toxic is not something to like laugh about. Because if you actually have been dealing with a toxic person, you would know that that's the last thing that anybody is finna think is cute. And it's the last thing that anybody really wants to put up with. And if you call yourself caring about someone, then why would you even want to be toxic to them? Some of them don't realize it. Most of them don't want to realize it. Toxic people have a trail of broken relationships around them or in their history. What being toxic is actually about is about being someone that no one can rely on. Being toxic is about you're not dependable. Being toxic means that at the very best, all you can do is care about yourself. You're always going to come first. I can say that because I've been there. You realize how selfish you've been. This is really not a good feeling when you can come to terms with the fact that you have not done you've done your absolute worst with people. I don't like that we're normalizing it. And some of y'all might feel like, well, that post ain't been viral in a minute. But I remember though, a lot of people was on that. So a lot of people feel that way. A lot of people still feel that way. Why y'all flaunt the fact that you can't get over your ex? That's really what you're saying. Like a lot of y'all flaunt the fact that you have emotional trauma that you can't get over. Y'all flaunt the fact that you need help, but you too prideful to go to a therapist. So instead you flip it and try to front. You're the scariest person out there. I'm talking to everyone, but I know people who look like me, the coloreds, be difficult whenever that's all you've known. And I know that in the Black community, that's something that a lot of us have only known. We trauma bond a lot. We do that. But a lot of y'all go through that on the daily, if not with your parents, with your significant other. And a lot of you may not even notice it. May feel like it's normal because it is. It's not good. God says that love is patient. He says that it's kind. He says it's a lot of things. He gives us the format for what it is. He showed it to us over 2,000 years ago. Whenever he sent his son to die on the cross for every single person. You have to be religious. You have to be spiritual. I'm not coming to preach to anybody. What I'm saying is that love really, really does exist. Is in the blueprint of our hearts. We all desire love. Our love don't have to be romantic. We need love. Not just desire it, it's a requirement for humans. If we all walked around hating each other, we dead, we would kill each other, like straight up. We would have friends. We would be antisocial. We would be hateful. We would be a terrible species without love. Like we need love to exist. We need love to have motivation to do most of the things that we do. We need love. God created us out of love and with love. Love isn't the issue. Love is great. But we have a very messed up idea of love. One of the things that we need to stop doing is normalizing things that people do while they're in love and saying that, yeah, like that's love. Is it? Is it really? Is that what you want? Like I know Keisha and Gucci did it, but is that what you want to do? Like everyone has a choice. You can have a choice to stay where you're at. Is that what the younger you would really want? Like, is that who you feel like you're called to be? Expect more videos. Definitely send me a DM. I'm gonna have my Instagram linked in here and my email, or comment or email me. Like I would like more topics. If I don't get none, I'm gonna just keep on posting until somebody give me a topic. I'm not gonna stop. If you watch this, if you got this far, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for hearing what I have to say. One love.